Welcome to CSI 252, Section 60, I guess. Introduction to Website Development. This is our first week. I'm Jeff Cooper. This is my first semester teaching adjunct at HCC. I'm a full-time professor at STIC, and so bear with me as I get kind of started up in the HCC methodology here, which seems to be pretty good. Onboarding to HCC went pretty well, and it just seems to be a great school you guys have got here. So I think the first thing that we'll talk about is our syllabus, which I'm bringing up now, and we have to do the all-exciting syllabus talk. This syllabus is in the Moodle January 25 to January 29. Well, I'm sorry, it's in the Moodle course announcements and course information sections. Our first week's material will be in the January 25 to January 29 module, obviously. So my name's Jeff Cooper. I'm an adjunct here at HCC. This office phone, please do not use this. This is my office phone over at STIC, and as you can imagine, we're under all these strictures, so I can't get to my office very often. And the best way to reach me, because we're all like online all the time now, is jlcooper@stic.edu. And let me also say here, I guess the right way to reach me is not that. The right way to reach me is jcooper@hcc. I am so sorry about that. We'll just fix things as we go. So that's the official email that you should use to talk to me. And you should always email from your HCC student email. That's something we're always supposed to do at the community colleges. We have a website, which you probably are used to finding your websites for your courses, but I put the link in there in case you wanted it. We are online is the way we're operating, which means you can watch the lectures at any time. It's a 3 credit hour course, and office hours are kind of weird with in this distance mode. So I'll try to post some better hours, to reach me on the Moodle site, maybe after this first week or so. But in the meantime, just email me and try to make your questions specific. And then if you need more help, we'll arrange a Zoom meeting or something and make sure that you understand how to go forward and do whatever you need to do so you can succeed in this course. Required textbook. We don't have a required textbook. You can use a PC, Windows, Mac OS, Linux. You'll need a basic text editor and internet access. And the PC and the internet access, I think you already kind of need it to access most of your courses nowadays. The following resources are also posted in the class Moodle site under a section that I put in there. Let me just bring this up. If I can get to our class Moodle site, here we go. I created a thing called Handy Course Pointers, and we'll be putting cheat sheets and other documents in there, things that you may want to refer to throughout the course. But these websites that are related to W3 schools and OER Commons are already listed there. And W3 schools, WWW is where they get the W3 from. It's the World Wide Web Consortium. They sort of are the group of people that set all the standards for the web. So their tutorial material is really great because it's going to be based on the latest and best practices and all that. And OER is Open Educational Resources, if you're familiar with that or not. It's a new movement where people do the work to create a course and then they share it with other people, and it's really nice because it can and some people actually write a textbook and put it in PDF out there for others to use. It's a very good way of doing things. In my Linux class, I stress open source software and the way that has revolutionized things. And open source education is a great thing too, because who needs to listen to me? And when it comes to this web stuff, there are lots of people who work on the web, and you don't need me specifically, but I am here to help, and I will interpret this material for you. But as self-learners, maybe you can take from this course and see how much you can go out and learn on your own, and then extend what you learn here to be able to do the latest and greatest web site creation. This course description, I won't read through it. It's right through from the HCC website. If you should have a basic computer literacy to take this course. I mean, this is a prerequisite, but it's more important that you know what a web browser is and how to navigate around your own PC to find files and that sort of thing, how to browse the internet, and how, basically how to take a course like this, and then maybe a skill or two that's different. But we'll try to explain everything, and if you have questions, just let me know. I haven't been able to find student learning outcomes or student learning competencies at the Holyoke website, so I'm going to leave those as TBDs. But as far as what you can expect to get out of this course, you'll be able to build a simple website. In fact, you'll be actually be able to build a medium complexity website, and you'll get some background into the mechanisms which are used for the most complex websites nowadays. We won't get to that level in one course, but you'll be able to throw together a website, and you can see how HTML, the underlying language, hypertext markup language, the underlying language of the web, you can use it to produce documents just like Microsoft Word or anything else. And it's a different way that the documents are made, but it's a great skill to learn. And what's neat about it is that as you build a web page, which you'll do with a text file, whatever you do right or wrong will show up immediately when you view that web page in a text browser. And we'll talk about that in our first lecture. But the nice thing is you get visual feedback on what you're doing, which can help you debug and straighten out problems and that sort of thing. Reading your own code may be difficult, but I would encourage you, if you have a problem, you have to stare at your own code. You may have to walk away from it, but this text file that you're going to, these text files that you're going to use, once you get used to looking at them, you may pick up the problems more quickly as you go on in the course. And especially when you look at them in a web browser and find out that everything's great until you get to a certain point and then something's wrong, and you'll know where to concentrate your attention in your text file. So from a quote-unquote programming standpoint, it's nice because you kind of see what, the old what you see is what you get kind of thing, and you will be able to zoom in on where any problems are, and it's kind of neat to see your work graphically up on a web browser. It's just kind of like, hey, this is cool. With a little bit of work, I can make some neat things happen. Course expectations, blah blah blah. If you want to learn some web design and the basics of it, you will, and keep pace with the online work and lecture delivery in this course. It says textbook, but it's be lectures. And of course, there's the policies and code of conduct for HCC students provided in the HCC 2020-2021 Student Handbook. Please do conduct yourself collegially and with respect for your peers. Also, keep apprised of your HCC academic calendar. I've run into this at STIC. I keep reminding myself to do this because every once in a while they'll change something and post that a certain day will be treated differently. And if you were, since we're not coming to campus, it seems less important than it used to, but it's still, just know that it's there and check it once in a while. Due dates, late work may be depreciated 25% per week that it's late, and no solutions after we post, no credit is given after we post solutions and that sort of thing. Well, I'll try to give you plenty of time to do your work. And, if you're working right along and making a good effort, we'll work with you that you can, submit your work and get some help and get it all in, because the object here is to learn this stuff, is to get it in, into your heads and onto paper or onto files, if you will, and then onto a web browser and see it work. And that's what we're really all about. Quality, don't submit junk. We won't accept it and we won't grade it. That's usually not a problem for most people. Academic honesty, I don't know how much that really comes into contact here. If you were writing a paper, don't cheat from somebody else's paper. If you have a few friends and you get together to do the homework for this course, that's not going to be a problem for me. But if there is a situation where you're expected to do your own original stuff and there's evidence that someone has cheated off someone else, it's kind of a tough policy, but the policy is that the person from whom the material was taken and the person who took the material both suffer and get an F for that material. So please don't give information to the enemy. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't give information, about your homework or whatever to other students. Well, that's not really right. You can, like I said, you can work together, but if it's a test or something, be academically honest and do your own thing, and don't copy from others and don't let them copy from you. Just do your own work. The grading policy is very up to date. You can see it's to be determined, but most likely the way I work is that the midterm and final exams, these will each probably be 20% or 1/5 of your grade, and the homework assignments will be 3/5. So maybe why don't we just put it in there? We'll just say, let's get the right font here to begin with. But let's make this 20, 20, and 60. And if we have little quizzes other than the midterm and final exam, they'll really be like homework assignments because you're doing it in a distance fashion. So this is the HCC grading scale from the student handbook, blah, 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 blah. And incomplete grades, try not to get an incomplete, but if it's unavoidable, we will work with you and see if we can get something so you can complete the course. But please, this is really not a recommended way to go. And it's difficult for me too. I mean, it's once the semester is over, it's very difficult to kind of keep contact and everything. As far as our course schedule goes, the first week we're going to kind of, we're doing the syllabus right now and everything. We're going to talk about some just basics of how we do, how we create HTML. We'll eventually get to see CSS, and this is version 5 and version 3 and that sort of thing. We'll make a web page right off the bat in the first module, and then we'll learn some more of HTML5 for a few weeks, and then we'll add in some CSS, and we'll do a project, and then we'll have an exam. And then, please hold your applause till the end, we will have a spring break, okay? After the spring break, I think we'll talk about either that, or I'll integrate this in with the rest of the course. We'll talk about what makes a good website. This is the kind of thing, anytime you do technical writing or any kind of writing or presenting, whether it be charts or, in an office meeting, whatever, you want to consider your audience. Who will be looking at your web page? What information will they want? What's the most important information? How do you disseminate that the quickest and the most clear, in the most clear manner? And then we'll have a couple projects here, and we'll be learning new things. We'll add in a little bit of scripting. You've probably heard of JavaScript, but along with scripting, we'll add in some what I guess you'd call interactive web design. HTML5 allows some dynamic content so that you can have buttons and text boxes and things like that in your web page. And they can be very helpful for the user to input some information, get back an answer. Web calculators are really cool for that. Sometimes you have a few text boxes and you put in some numbers or something, and then the website computes something and prints out an answer, and it's like having a little feature on your calculator. You can just get an answer on a problem when you need it, and that's nice. We'll have a final kind of project and a final exam, and then you'll be able to go out and take over the world with your web designs. What I really hope is that you'll know the basics of web design and how it's accomplished, and then with the scripting, you'll see that the really complicated websites that are happening today, they're very much based on scripting. So it's very hard for us to look into them and just start right off the bat. But by the end of this course, I hope to give you some kind of exit ramps into that stuff so that you can find out more about it. And with things like the W3 schools there and other resources, there are lots of places that for no or low money you can learn some advanced website stuff. And we'll talk about that as we get toward the end of the course, so you'll be equipped in case this is something you want to do. Because website design, any kind of computer science, is a lifetime self-learning thing. Whether it's information technology, computer science, whatever you want to call it, it's a lifetime learning process. So we want to support that and kind of show that all these things have people and places on the web that are supporting that, and that's the way it's happening, and that's the way the professionals continue to keep up with things, is they're always reading and trying out things and getting example code and basically, maybe even taking some courses. So there's that. Disability services, as with any community college, we want to make everything we do as accessible to everyone we can. And we call these accommodations, but that's not a strong enough word. We want them to be inclusions, so that people are included, people are educated. That's what we're in the business of doing. And there's a number of things that we can do, and the vocabulary word for it is accommodation, but understand that we want the biggest community we can reach, and we want everyone to feel like they're a part of it. So if this section pertains to you, please do contact these people, and they'll contact me, and we will do all that's possible, more than what's reasonable probably, to make sure that you're that you have success in the course. So that being said, we'll end this video, and then our next video will be our first week's learning module. Thanks for putting up with me and the boring topic of syllabi, but we'll get on to learning in our next video. I promise. Thanks. Bye.